Hey guys, and welcome to Krunker Map Making Tips and Tricks episode 3. Today we're going to be going over how to make nice smashed glass that doesn't have weird seams between it like you normally would. Okay, let's have a look how this looks in a tester. So as you can see in this normal one, we've just got this sort of weird mesh between the different pieces of glass as you look at them. But in this one over here, it's all nice and smooth and just looks like solid pieces of glass. So, how do we achieve this? This is achieved by having some faces on the different pieces of glass are not rendered, and splitting up the pieces of glass into more pieces, so that all the faces that intersect with each other aren't rendered, and that means that when they look through each other, you don't see anything, because there's nothing there. So if I were to render this face, and move it back in there, you can see, now you can see it through the glass, of course, because it is transparent. And over here, obviously, that is not done, and you can see right through, and it makes this weird little seam. So let's just see how we can do this from start to finish. I'm going to start out by making a little frame so you guys can get the general idea of what I'm doing. Great. Now that we have a frame, we're going to need some glass. So let's just duplicate this cube here and make some glass. I like to use slightly greenish blue, and I like to have the opacity at about 0.7. That just sort of hits the sweet spot for me. Anywho, what you're going to want to do now is just write out the general shape of your glass you want. Let's just say we want ours to look like it's just being shattered, like this. That's wonderful. Now I'm just going to make some on the other side, and I'll be right back. Alright, now that we've got our glass made, we have to stop it from having these weird seams. So, what do we do for this? You want to grab your glass out, and then take it down to the size of the first piece, and you're just going to want to de-render any faces that intersect each other. So, turn on face selection mode using M. And just de-render these, and de-render the top. And also de-render the bottom. The reason we de-render the top and bottom is so that when we duplicate it, the top and bottom also don't have this mesh. And seeing as there's not going to be any situation where you don't want to render the top other than in these outlying pieces, we just like to leave it like that. Now, when you have a piece which has the outside on display, just render it again, and that's all you need to do. Then duplicate it, and then since this is one where we want this side not rendered, we're just going to want to de-render that, and also de-render this, move this down, and fit it to shape, and so on. Now that we've done all our glass, we just got to make sure that none of these little cubes have got shading turned on, and you can make sure that none of them do by just checking under Object Config, under Style, and then there's this little box, and you want to make sure that it is not ticked. Now, let's give it a test and see how it looks. Sweet. So here you can see our original with no modifications, very ugly, and has weird little seam lines. Here we've got our original example, and here we've got what we just did. As you can see, it all looks like one nice coherent piece with no weird seam lines, and that's pretty much how this works. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you liked the video. I'll see you next time.